There have been many cruel and destructive rulers throughout history, but one emperor often regarded as one of the worst to ever live was Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, the infamous Emperor Nero of ancient Rome. His reign from 54 to 68 AD was marked by tyranny, corruption, murder, and excess that left an unforgettable stain on Roman history. Nero's story is not just about power as a chilling lesson, about how absolute control can destroy both the ruler and the world around him. Nero became emperor at the young age of 16 after the death of Emperor Claudius, his great-uncle and adoptive father. At first, many Romans had high hopes for him. Under the early guidance of his wise tutor, the philosopher Seneca, and the capable general Burrus, Nero initially appeared to rule justly. However, as he grew older, his darker nature began to surface. His lust for luxury, adoration, and control slowly twisted him into one of the most notorious figures of the ancient world. One of the earliest signs of Nero's cruelty was his relationship with his own family. His mother, Agrippina the Younger, had helped him gain the throne through manipulation and ambition. Yet once Nero felt she threatened his power, he turned on her. He first tried to have her killed in a boating accident, but when that failed, he sent assassins to finish the job. Nero was ordered to murder his own mother, shocked the empire, and revealed the beginning of his descent into madness. After Agrippina's death, Nero grew increasingly erratic. He saw himself as a divine artist, believing he was destined for greatness as a performer, poet, and musician rather than a statesman. He forced Rome's elite to attend his tedious and self-indulgent performances, sometimes lasting for hours, and anyone who showed disinterest risked punishment or worse. For Nero, being emperor wasn't about governance, it was about being adored, worshipped, and feared. Nero's paranoia also led him to eliminate anyone he suspected of plotting against him. He executed his stepbrother Britannicus, many senators, and even his own wife, Poppaea Sabina, whom he reportedly kicked to death during a fit of rage. His cruelty extended to friends and allies, as no one could feel safe under his volatile rule. Fear became a defining feature of Roman society during his reign. The most infamous event associated with Nero was the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. The fire raged for 9 days, destroying much of the city. Ancient sources like Tacitus and Suetonius claim that Nero played his lyre and sang as the city burned, though this may be exaggerated. However, his response to the disaster was undeniably callous. Rather than showing compassion, Nero seized the opportunity to rebuild Rome in his own image, constructing the lavish Domus Aurea, or Golden House, a massive palace complex that symbolized his greed and ego. To deflect blame for the fire, Nero accused a small religious group known as the Christians of starting it. This marked the beginning of one of the first major persecutions of Christians in history. Nero ordered horrifying punishments. Many were crucified, burned alive, or thrown to wild animals for public entertainment. His cruelty toward them earned him a reputation as one of the most inhumane rulers in recorded history. The persecution of Christians under Nero wasn't just an act of deflection. It reflected his deep need for control and domination. He treated human suffering as a spectacle. His sadistic love for theatrical executions turned Rome into a place of terror and bloodshed. This created an environment where cruelty became entertainment and fear was the main instrument of governance. Nero's obsession with luxury also drained the Roman treasury. He imposed heavy taxes on the provinces, confiscated wealth from the elite, and even melted down statues and temples to fund his extravagant projects. His Golden House featured fountains, gardens, and even an artificial lake, all funded by the suffering of his people. The emperor who once inherited a stable empire transformed it into a financially strained and morally broken state. His delusions of grandeur only worsened. Nero considered himself a god and demanded that temples be built in his honor. He believed his artistic talents made him superior to all others. He forced audiences to praise him, and anyone who criticized his performances faced execution. This obsession with personal glory revealed how completely detached he had become from the real responsibilities of ruling an empire. Over time, Nero's mismanagement led to chaos across the Roman provinces. Revolts broke out in Britain, Judea, and Gaul, and even his once loyal legions turned against him. His reign, once marked by spectacle and fear, began to crumble under its own corruption and instability. The people who once cheered him now cursed his name. As rebellion spread, Nero became increasingly paranoid. He executed generals, senators, and governors whom he suspected of betrayal. The Senate finally declared him a public enemy, a shocking reversal for a man who once ruled with near-divine authority. With nowhere left to turn, Nero's world collapsed around him. In the final days of his life, Nero fled Rome disguised and terrified. When he learned that his capture was imminent, he chose to end his life rather than face execution. His final words, reportedly, were, "What an artist dies in me," a haunting reflection of his narcissism to the very end. Nero's death plunged Rome into civil war, known as the Year of the Four Emperors. His reckless rule left the empire unstable and vulnerable, with power struggles and rebellions erupting across the realm. The damage he caused to Roman governance and culture would take years to repair. Historians have long debated whether Nero was a madman, a misunderstood artist, or a product of his time. Yet, the overwhelming evidence paints a portrait of a man who valued spectacle over substance, power over compassion, and cruelty over reason. His legacy became the very definition of imperial evil. Nero's reign also set a dangerous precedent. Future tyrants looked to his rule as an example of how absolute power can go unchecked. His story became a warning for centuries of how vanity and corruption can destroy even the greatest of empires. While other emperors, such as Caligula or Commodus, were also cruel and self-indulgent, Nero's combination of artistic delusion, sadism, and catastrophic leadership made his reign uniquely destructive. He not only hurt those closest to him, but also corrupted the soul of Rome itself. The memory of Nero endured in art, literature, and Christian writings as the embodiment of evil. To many early Christians, he became a symbol of the Antichrist, an image of moral decay and ultimate punishment. His name, even centuries later, was synonymous with cruelty and madness. In the end, Nero stands as one of history's darkest figures because he showed how a man with ultimate power, unchecked by morality or wisdom, can destroy not only his people but also himself. His reign remains a powerful reminder that leadership without humanity becomes tyranny, and tyranny, no matter how glittering or grand, always collapses under the weight of its own evil.